Hello children, welcome back to this channel, Storytime with our friends. Today I'll be retelling a story which is Cinderella. So let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a young girl called Cinderella. She lived with her mean stepmother and her two silly stepsisters. Cinderella did everything for her lazy family. One day, an invitation arrived from the palace. "Oh my, oh my, oh my!" trilled Cinderella's stepmother. "There's to be a ball at the palace and we're invited!" The silly stepsister screamed in delight. "Yee! Does that mean I can go too?" asked Cinderella, wide-eyed. "You?" cackled her stepmother. "Of course not." Cinderella worked hard to help her stepsisters look their best. Late into the night, she sewed stitch upon tiny stitch with delicate silken thread. The gowns glittered with sequins and rustled with rich satin petticoats. The silly stepsisters primed and preened and polished and cleaned until at last they were ready for the ball. When they had gone, tiny tears tumbled down Cinderella's cheeks. "Oh, I do wish I could go to the ball," she cried. Suddenly, the room went dark and there was a flash of light. Cinderella looked up to see a glittering fairy hovering close by. "I am your fairy godmother," she said, "and you shall go to the ball." Cinderella gasped as a flash of the fairy's wand turned a pumpkin into a carriage of gold, some squeaking mice into prancing horses, and a big old rat into a coachman. Smiling at Cinderella, she said, "Well, you can't go dressed like that." With a sparkling swoosh, Cinderella's ragged clothes became a glittering dress, while slippers of glass shimmered on her feet. "Am I dreaming?" whispered Cinderella. "It's magic," explained her fairy godmother, "but my spell will stop as the clock strikes midnight." When Cinderella arrived at the palace, everyone gasped in wonder. Their whispers floated on the breeze until they reached the prince himself. He followed the murmuring voices into the courtyard. When Cinderella stepped from the golden carriage, the prince's heart skipped a beat. She was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. Inside the palace ballroom, glamorous guests watched as the prince and Cinderella began to dance. Round and round they spun, talking and twirling, laughing and whirling as this music played and time tick-tocked by. After what seemed like only a few minutes to Cinderella, the clock began to strike midnight and she remembered her fairy godmother's warning. As she ran from the palace, Cinderella felt the magic disappear with every step. The prince rushed after her, but she was gone. All that remained was a glass slipper, glittering in the moonlight. "I must find the girl whose foot fits the shoe," cried the prince. The next day, the prince took the glass slipper to every home in his kingdom. He visited castles and cottages. He trod it upon the feet of duchesses and dairymaids, but none could squeeze her foot into the delicate slipper. At last, the prince visited the house where Cinderella lived. The slipper was too tiny for his stepmother and silly stepsisters. "Does anyone else live here?" asked the prince, looking around the untidy house. At that moment, Cinderella came into the room. Her clothes were rags, but the prince knew who she was at once. The glass slipper fitted her delicate foot perfectly. Her stepsisters were amazed and very annoyed. "Will you marry me?" asked the handsome prince. "I will," answered Cinderella, and they lived happily ever after. That's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this story. Soon enough, I will meet you all with a new story. So till then, take care, stay safe, do subscribe to the channel, do check out the videos. Bye!